Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. Today we're looking at a figure from Attack of the Clones. This is Zam Wesell, the bounty hunter. And I'm sure most of you remember this character. She appeared in one of the very first scenes of Attack of the Clones. She was the bounty hunter hired to kill Senator Amidala. So let's take a closer look at the figure here real quick. Now this is, once again, I think this is where Hasbro really stepped their game up with this line of figures. They went into a lot of detail, and each figure is really unique. It's not a cookie cutter type thing. They all do these really unique things and have each figure has like a really unique thing that it does, or accessory it comes with. And I'll show you what this one does. It's pretty unique. And actually you can see right there, get this thing to focus on her. There's actually a button on her back that does a trick. I'll show you in a sec. Here, let's take her off of here. There you can see her. I'm trying to get the camera to focus on something closer. And let me show you some of the things she does. It's pretty neat. First off is her face. And you may remember in the movie she actually had the ability to change what her face looked like. And what this is actually she has a peel off mask that you just kind of grab it. And let's see, there we go. Kind of poke your fingernail under there and it pops off. And it's the alien face that she kind of exposed herself, showing it for a brief second in the movie. But it's just a little plastic mask that fits over her face. And here's what she looks like with it off. Of course, this is her human female. And one of the other things you'll see, if you look closely, you'll see this figure has a little tiny button on her back. And what that does is you pull it. There we go. It doesn't have a lot of movement, but what you do is you kind of wiggle the button and her arm wiggles. And I think it's supposed to be her drawing the blaster out of her holster there. But the arm is actually spring loaded, so if you push it down and release, it just pops back up. But one of the other neat things about, you may remember, is her in the movie she got her hand cut off when she pulled a gun on, I believe it was Obi-Wan. And if you look, her arm is a magnet. Now if you look real close, you can see there's a little magnet embedded in her arm, and there's a little tiny magnet in the end of her forearm, and you just stick it, put it close to her arm, and it attaches. And it's so if you want to recreate that scene where her arm gets cut off, that's all you have to do, is you just kind of give it a little tug and it falls off. And you just hold it back up there and it snaps back on. Now, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool. You haven't seen a lot of figures that do that. I don't even have a Luke figure that does that. But, in the little tiny pistol, you can see it's actually two-toned. They painted it and everything. The little pistol she pulled on Obi-Wan. See if I can get the camera to focus on it here. There you can see it. It's a little tiny black and silver pistol. And another cool thing she does, if you look at her waist belt there, you'll see there is a little holster, and it does hold the gun. Just slides right in there. And I think that was the intent of her spring-loaded arm, was that you could grab the gun and then she would draw it up. And let me show you. Now her arms do move. The other one does. It's not spring loaded. And what's kind of cool is that it's on a ball joint. It's not your standard. You can see it there. It spins and moves back and forth. And her wrists on this hand do move. You can spin her wrists. This is on her non-magnet hand. And unlike a lot of figures, she does have knee joints too. Let me see if I can get those. Come on, will you focus on her? There you go. You can see her knees move and her hips move. So you can position this figure pretty good with all that extra movement she has. And she does move at the waist as well. And for some reason, I'm not totally sure what the reason is for this, but if you look at her front, you'll see there's this little apparatus that has these tubes, and for some reason it only detaches at the top, and there's a little tiny hole in there behind her armor. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I think it's just so that you can move the figure and the bottom doesn't restrict it, but when you move it, there's a little peg that pops out. And then when you're done moving her, you just kind of push and it snaps back in there. I don't know what the reasoning for that is or anything, but her helmet does not come off. That's permanently attached, and it kind of helps blend the mask when she's putting it on. But to get this mask back on, you just kind of start at her neck and you start pushing it on, and then you fold the top part under her hat there, and there you go. She's an alien again. And we'll reattach her arm. And that's what this figure does. She's pretty unique, you have to admit. You don't see a magnetic arm on a lot of figures that's designed to be detachable and reattach. Let's see if we can get her to stand up on this thing. She doesn't like these little stands. I don't think she's going to stay on here. Okay. And let's look at the packaging real quick. There's a kind of showing you real quick some of her features, the magnetic arm and the removable face mask. But let's read the description of her real quick here. Zam Wesell is a dangerous, heavily armed bounty hunter, mysteriously hired to eliminate Senator Amidala. Swift to action, Wesell is a refined, unrelenting assassin and an excellent tracker. Her query's almost non-existent survival rate confirms Wesell's eminent reputation and unprecedented marksmanship. Wesell gets more than she bargained for when her assassination attempt is foiled by the Senator's Jedi protectors, who pursue the bounty hunter on a harrowing chase through the Coruscant skyline. There she is, everyone. There's Zam Wesell from Attack of the Clones with removable arm and removable face mask. Thanks for watching, everyone.